Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Houseplantpixie. For everyone that's new to my channel, my name is Monique and welcome back to my existing subscribers, and thank you so much for tuning back in for an update episode of the Epipremnum Amplissimum. Been cutting a runner and I'll change the position of the plant. So this plant was growing amazingly and then I moved it to a darker spot, and instead of growing it just developed a runner, and here's the update. I will show you the little offcuts I took, and this is the plant, and this is what the plant's been doing. It has not pushed out another proper leaf. It's continuing to push out runners. So the spot where I have it in is still a bit too dark, but I don't mind. It means we can create more plants. And also feel free, when you see me chopping up a plant on my channel, feel free to message me on Instagram. If you're from Australia, it will be easier to mail them to you. They are for sale. Right, so there's another runner here, which I will probably leave. Developed another runner from the bottom here, and that one I will chop again, like I did in my previous video, but that is not what today's video is about. So I kept them in a box. I had the lid closed, not fully shut, just put it loose on top, and I do have like a grow light on top of it, and these guys are sitting in perlite. I only have about 4 left. I sold the other ones and I thought I better make a video before they're all gone, and that is what they look like now, and I show you how we pot them up. So they just perlite. I showed you in the previous video how they just sat loosely on top, and now they developed nice roots, and we transfer them to soil. Again, to prevent the soil from falling through, I use paper towel. I just put it in the bottom. That will stop your finer parts of the soil falling through, making a mess. I will put these guys, once they're potted out, back in the same tub until they're a bit older, because I still need the humidity, and in my plant room the humidity is not the greatest at the moment because my humidifier is not working how it should be, but that's okay. If a plant is quite mature, like this one, it won't really matter too much, and everything that's smaller I'll have in either glass dome or in some sort of humidity supporting vessel outside. We're transferring them to the nursery pots. It's probably would be alright if you transfer them all into a lot smaller pots. Even half the size would be okay, because there's not that many roots, but I don't have anything else. And again, I like to use a bit of paper towel in the bottom, or if you have some old newspaper, simply if I put the soil in, it won't fall through and make a mess. Very important. So let's just, I got my soil mixture, perlite, horticultural charcoal, bitter coir, all nice mixed together. With the seedlings, make sure your soil mixture is more loose than normal. And now we just, if there's a little bit of perlite left on the roots, I wouldn't stress too much about it. Also, if you like or wish, you can trim the end if it's not fitting in the pot. That's also not a problem. So place some soil, and then what you want is like, the soil is sitting about here now, and then you hold it about there, and then you just put the soil on top. So it's not sitting too deep. I wouldn't worry too much about this root there. You can put it in, but I'm just gonna leave it exposed. And also, you're cutting how it was sitting on the perlite. It's sort of sitting a bit on top. I wouldn't bury it all the way, just in case you're an overwaterer, and just wait till the root system is a bit more established before you plant it a bit deeper. And that's the first little baby potted up. And with the watering, got your plant here. Just give it a little bit and see how nice and draining that is. And that's probably all I would put on there for now. So I just noticed that one of those guys is probably a little bit tall to put back in the prop box, but that's not a problem. We're just going to use a sandwich bag. Also perfect way if you ever bring a plant home and you don't have a spot to isolate it, just in case it has any bugs from the nursery on it. It's always good to keep them separate from the rest of your plants for a little while. And I just put the sandwich bag around it, and that should help with the... Should have prepared some sticky strips, but I didn't. Okay. Just make sure you do put it back in the same light requirements. So I just wanted to talk about the general care, just in case you haven't seen the previous video. Don't worry, you can watch it, or I just tell you quickly now. If you have this plant as a young plant like that, make sure it has heaps of humidity. Put it in a glass dome, or as I showed you, put that around it, or put it in your greenhouse cabinet if you got one. I find like 70, 60, 70% humidity be perfect. But once they are bigger, like this one here, you don't need as much humidity. I think my plant room sits about 50% at the moment, and I don't have the humidifier on all the time, but I got lots of plants in that room, and the minute you have lots of plants grouped together, they sort of create a humid environment for each other. So it's perfect. It's always a good idea to cluster them together. But then check your plants, because if one of your plants gets a bug or mealybugs or thrips or whatever, I shouldn't talk about it because probably I tracked some now. Yeah, it's always worth it to check your plants when you water them. The soil for the younger plants, I'll probably put a little bit more orchard bark in, because the dense, you don't want your soil to be really dense. You want your soil nice and draining so the roots can develop. If it's really compacted, the roots can't keep growing. You got to create something similar to this perlite, which is nice, but then you want some more that holds a bit of nutrients. And now you can also start fertilizing these guys. I wouldn't recommend doing it too often. I'm a big believer in, give fertilizer to boost your plant, but have the right light requirements, the right soil, and then you're almost set. And humidity for especially a plant like this. Yeah, and I think I covered everything. And temperature, just normal room temperature. You don't want it too cold. Anywhere between 19 and 22 degrees is normal room temperature, I believe. My house. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. And I'll see you next time. Until then, stay planty. Bye.